welcome to tonight's video on integers. So we've already talked about real numbers and the real number system. So what is an integer? Well, an integer is what is up on this number line. An integer is the positive whole numbers and their opposite. My question to you to come in and tell me tomorrow is 0 an integer? And you could come tell me that tomorrow. If you remember correctly, the other day we had a warm-up on what is absolute value, or what an absolute value of a number was, and some of you looked that up. But remember, absolute value, this is on the back of your note sheet, is just the number of steps the number is away from 0. So it's like you're just moving and taking steps, and that's the absolute value of what that number is. Today, since we're going to be adding integers, we're asking what are 0 pairs. If you remember what 0 pairs are from last year, 0 pairs are a positive and a negative that together make 0. So I'm going to do some problems here, some basic adding integers, and show you what some 0 pairs are. I'm going to use red for negative, and black, which is going to be an empty color, is for my positive. So I have 8 positive circles. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have 4 negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I make 0 pairs? Just match them up. What do I have left? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 plus negative 4, with my 0 pairs to prove it, is just a positive, because they're not negatives, 4. This starts with negative 7 plus 3. So I have 7 red negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I have 3 positives, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to match my 0 pairs. There's 1 0 pair, 2, 3. Now what happens when I match my 0 pairs? They kind of disappear. They go away. They're gone. I don't have to look at them anymore. So what's left? I have 4 red negatives. So negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Down here I've got negative 2 plus negative 4. So I've got 2 negatives, 2 red, plus I've got 4 more negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all red, they're all negative. So how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is a negative 6. So that's how you use your 0 pairs. Match them, they disappear. What's left over is usually what your answer is. That takes us to another method of solving for adding integers. The number line method on your notes, you can see I've underlined the words that you need to add on your notes, basically says that you start at 0 if you're walking the number line, facing the positive direction. If you're going positive on a positive number, you walk forward that way. This is the number line, so I would be walking this way. If it's a negative number, I would walk backwards. And if I get to a subtraction sign, then I would just turn around. So that's kind of how you walk the number line. Okay, so we have our number line on the board. Our first problem is negative 8 plus 2. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go over negative 8. Then I'm going to go back 2. 1, 2. Where am I at? I'm at negative 6. And you can see that. So my answer for negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Okay, the next problem we have on our sheet is 4 plus negative 6. Okay, so here I'm going to start at 0. There's 0. I'm going to go over 4. Then I'm going to go back 6. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So where am I at? I'm at negative 2. So when I walked the number line, I'm at negative 2. Our next problem on our board, on our sheet, is -3 plus -4. Now look at that. You've got two negatives and you've got a plus sign. So you need to think, maybe I might be staying in the negatives. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go over -3. And then I'm going to go over -4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So where am I at? I'm at -7. Our last number line problem is 5 plus -3. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go over 5. And then I'm going to go back 3. 1, 2, 3. Where am I at? I'm at 2. So our answer is 2. On your paper, there are 2 more problems, I believe. 2 word problems. Go ahead and solve those and check your answer. And then we'll put the answer up and you'll see how you did. So, hopefully you solved those word problems. These are the answers. It's very important that you show your work and you write out the equation. And then it also helps that if you think about, is this a reasonable answer? So if you write a sentence that tells what it is, you can look back and go, okay, that makes sense. So we've got -660 plus 32 for our whale problem equals -628. So the whale is 628 feet below sea level. That makes sense. Question number 2 talks about an MP3 player. I don't know that those are even around anymore. But it's -12 plus -32 equals -44. So Marcus has -$44, or he's in the hole. He didn't have any money in the bank. Okay? So those are your answers, and I'm going to sing you a little song. Same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger one, then you'll be exact. Use that song and you'll remember your integer. So that was the rules for adding integers. Now I want you to go to your summary question at the bottom and write a summary of what you think the rules are for adding integers. Might be incorrect, but give it a try and we'll talk about it in class tomorrow. And be sure to use a complete sentence